Hello, I wanted to just show you how to make an infused oil with rose hips. I have in this little jar some whoa, now they're out of the jar, some dried rose hips that I foraged outside. Um, and I'm going to put some oil over them to make an infused oil. Why would I want to do this? I do it because rose hip infused oil is a fantastic ingredient to use in on your face. You might have heard of rose hip seed oil. This is not exactly the same as that. This is a rose hip, and inside these little babies are the seeds. The seed is inside. And if I wanted to make a rosehip seed oil, I would need like some equipment that would press the seeds, and the seeds are so tiny and it's beyond my capacity as a home herbalist. But the seed is still in here, right? Encased, and it's a little bit open. So the seed is in there as well as the berry or the hip that's holding the seed, which also includes a lot of beneficial skin properties as well. So because I'm going to use this in my face serum, I'm going to use jojoba oil as my carrier oil. The carrier oil is whatever you're infusing um, your herbs with. You can use avocado oil, you could use olive oil, you could use sunflower oil. I have started to move away from using like sunflower and safflower and different seed oils like that because of their like really, really inflammatory properties that I've just been learning about over the last few months. But I like to use jojoba oil, particularly for the face, because it's actually not even really an oil. It's more considered a wax, and it most closely mimics the sebum that we have in our own skin production. So you take your dried rose hips, and I found a smaller jar because these are all the rose hips I have. Like once you start collecting your own rose hips, you'll see that it takes a while to get, like, it's depending on how small the rose hips are in your area. But for me, because they're so tiny, it takes a while to gather a good amount. So I'm just picking out some that are a little past the bend in here. And you want to make sure that when you're making an infused oil that you have the right size jar, because you want to not have any air in the whole situation, because that can cause oxidation in the process. So all you're going to do is find a good jar, pour your oil, and hope that you have enough oil. Great, just enough. Ideally, there would be just a little bit more oil to come all the way to the top, but this is fine. And let's see, can you see? I don't want to spill it. It's so beautiful. And so I'm going to cover this and then label it. It's super important to label all of your creations because 100% guarantee that you will forget what it is. Even if this is the only thing you make ever, you might forget the date. You might forget a lot of things about it. And when I first started learning herbalism, this is what all of the herbalists would say. I'd be like, I'm not going to forget, but I forgot. So it's a very good tip. There's still a little bit of oil in here, so I'm going to just keep filling it up. Yeah, so the rose hips are going to just be really, really, really beautiful on your skin. It's like an anti-aging, anti-inflammatory, just really nourishing um, ingredient to put onto your skin. And that's it. Besides labeling it, and what you want to do is allow this to infuse for at least 6 weeks. I usually like to go up to 12 weeks, sometimes even longer, because you want to give enough time for those beneficial properties of the rose hips to really get into the oil. Because what will happen when that time is up, like in a couple of months, when it's time to strain this, those properties of the plant are going to be in the oil, right? And so when you strain it, you do have to be careful when you're straining rose hips, because inside of the rose hip, like I was saying earlier, there's the seed, and around that seed is hair, and that hair can be irritating and itchy, especially if you're drinking it or making tea out of it. I haven't personally had any issues with it, but what you should do when you strain your oil is you can do it through a cheesecloth, right? But some of those hairs might still come through the cheesecloth, and so to be extra careful, you can strain it through a coffee filter. It'll take a little longer, but it'll be worth it to get those hairs out and have like a really like pure, clean oil. Usually, I don't mind if a little bit of plant material is in my infused oils after I strain it, but I do think, again, like with the rose hips, you just want to be extra careful so you don't have any of the irritants of the hairs. And that's it. That's it. That's it. It's as easy as that. Dried plant matter and some beautiful, juicy, fatty oil to come together and give you like really gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous ingredient for your skin, and so healthy and so clean. And I used to like buy all of the fancy products, and even before I could afford fancy products, I would buy like all the skincare line and like have the toner and the under eye and the astringent and the night cream and the day cream and like so many different things. I was really into different skincare products. And since I've been working with plants, one, I have found that my skin looks better, and my skincare regimen is so simple and so straightforward. And like I said, I'm having a greater benefit to the way my skin is aging. I don't use soap anymore on my skin. I just use a warm face cloth, like a warm wet face cloth to like scrub off my skin, and then I use a hydrosol, and then I put on a facial serum. That's it. That's it. Every once in a while I'll wash my face with some goat's milk soap, but like once a week, once every couple of weeks. And then I'll do like a facial steam every now and then. But really having really quality ingredients, and you know exactly what's in here, right? There's no chemicals, there's no gums, there's no anything that's going to be harmful for your skin. And a lot of skincare products, like the second ingredient, if you look at this lid, I'm gonna have to find a different lid. This is leaking a little bit. If you look in a lot of skincare products, the second ingredient is usually alcohol, like there's water and alcohol. And alcohol is so drying to your skin. I mean, if you have very oily skin, maybe you want to use some kind of astringent, in which case I might recommend witch hazel. But you don't really want to be using alcohol on your skin on a regular basis. So you can just use rose hips from outside as a very powerful ingredient and serum to use on your face and on your skin to just look good and feel good. So let this infuse for a couple months, strain it out, and then you can use it as an ingredient, or you just use it straight up on your face. So I hope you try it. I hope it works, and let me know if you have any questions or if I can help you out in any way. Thank you so much.